Right, so again, we use our compression work here on the quads. So you've got the big shin bone here. That doesn't really feature so much when we're working with the legs in supine. Supine needs to be face up. So we have the kneecap and we have the groin. You want to come into the center here and just apply pressure. Deep breath for me, please. And big sigh out. Okay, so straight away her quads are tighter than her hamstrings. Okay, she's got more going on. And I can feel that it's here running midsection and certainly here over to the lateral line as well. And I'm watching her breath. See the way she's taking deep breaths? I'm going to hold this for 45 seconds because I can see she's working with the breath. Alright, you see how her breath settles? That's her basically saying that the muscle has released. So you can work with it in that way, right? Now, that was quite deep. You can leave it like that and go straight into working manually with oil. If you feel, and which I do with her, as I'm working there, watching the breath, 45 seconds, I can actually feel she's pretty tight there and pretty tight there. You can add an additional compression below and also above. Now I can feel she's tighter here at the kneecap. Deep breath for me, please. And big sigh out. Okay, and then coming to just below where the groin is, deep breath. This is softer here. There we go. Yeah, so it really softens more from the midsection there. Okay, coming up. And we get our correct draping. So we always start at the ankle, one hand in front of the other, and we prep the full leg, again with any of your effleurage, your double-handed effleurage, your alternate effleurage. So I know it's sitting more here, mid to lateral section, so I want to use my outer hand more because that's where the tension is, okay? You can by all means incorporate it. And then when you're ready, you transition. Just leave the shin, we will come back to that later. Again, this is the powerhouse. Okay, you've got some really great muscle groups here, so you don't really want to spend too much time. Okay, this is where your playground is going to be. So you transition again with your effleurage or your pètrissage here. I want to be working with some big movements, all right, because I can really feel the full length of mid to lateral section. The whole thing is really holding quite tight. If you wish, you can use your ringing, and because of all my injuries, I can't ring very fast. You would be going like this, okay? So for me, ringing's a little bit slower, so I want to get a bit more traction, so I just use more of the kneading movements, okay? Now, I'm using, this is more like an alternate effleurage. There's no pressure. I'm just sweeping up into it, okay? And I'm gliding up into it as well. So I'm 1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and back. I'm now going to take it into my loose fist. Okay, and she's got some knots. You feel that? She's got some knots here, so you can actually feel it. You guys are going to feel this in a minute. So you want to use your loose fist. And you can come slightly onto the side here. This is lateralis. In the middle you have the rec fem. And slightly to the side here, you've also got the medialis too, before again you come back into the abductor area. Now, you are welcome to use thumb and fingers, I find this to be really clumsy when you're working on the quads because you can't get a good grip of the muscle, but you can work it if you want. You can use these set of techniques here. Again, I tend to use more of my bigger tools. It's just easier, okay? You can also as well use your forearm with your anchor and just be sweeping down over the top of it. So I'm working all of those big muscle groups, the three main ones, just with a forearm effleurage. Pull it back, come back in with your alternate effleurage. Now, let's start at the knee. With the knee, we want to now start working it. So this kneecap's super tight. This is responsible for a lot of the tension that's coming up. So we have loose knuckles. If you're not a knuckler, you can also use thumb circles or finger circles. I tend to use knuckles, okay? If it feels easier for you, you can use your thumbs or you can use fingers. It's the same, okay? Knuckling, as it loosens, then turns into alternate loose fist. So it's big circular movements. And again, I'm lunging into it and coming back. As it's beginning to soften, I can tell that it's more located here. So I'm coming back more now with my alternate loose fist. Deep breath, breathe into that. And you just work with patience. Again, this is really tight, so I would just loose fist this for about 45 seconds. This is a good technique to use on here. So you just need to keep working with it until it loosens. It's beginning now to loosen kind of mid to top section, and it's really sitting here at the knee to the kind of middle area, okay? So the whole thing's loosening, and as I focus more here on this area that's holding, it then turns into a small alternate loose fist. Okay, so you see how our breathing changed, right? That means that you're working correctly with the tension in the body, okay? So again, it's a smaller movement because we want to focus on these muscle fibers that are just sticking, they're holding on a little bit more. I'm probably working a light to kind of medium pressure, not too heavy, but not too light either, okay? Very nice, okay? Pull it back again and strip the full length of the muscle. Okay, I'm coming back in now at the tendons that connect here into the kneecap.
I've never had a knee massage before, it's lovely.
You know it?
I don't think so.
Okay, and then now combining it into alternate loose fist circles coming up the full length there. Good, that's feeling a lot better. Pull it back now. Big breath. So if you want the client to breathe, you can also just do that for them and then they know the command. So I do that quite a lot with my clients that know me. I'll just go to really let them, okay, go into it now, okay? Also what can happen is when I do that as well, it's because I'm picking up energy from the client. So as she relaxes, because you're touching the client, a lot of the tension will actually come in through your hands and you'll feel it coming into you. So sometimes when I'm doing it as well, that's me breathing Kira and I'm going, and I'm letting her energy field leave my body. You'll feel it when it happens, okay? We can also work with the kneecap here on the inside as well, taking it up into your abductor area. You can also be working with a reinforced reverse effleurage there too. And then you can come back in with your steamroller, your reinforced effleurage, or a forearm. so your techniques are effleurage, okay? You can come in with any of your pêche-dressage movements. You can be working with alternate loose fist, okay? So you've got three main muscles here that you want to be working with. One runs right in the middle, one comes to the side, and one sits on the inside there. So you can loose fist them all, okay? You can also work with a forearm effleurage. So there's no pressure, there's just a lot of repetition, okay? If you do want to deepen it, just slow it down a little bit, okay? We can also be working with loose knuckles, alternate loose fist circles. Come back in, work the full area, loosen it off a bit. If it's whoever's working on this leg, if it's specifically holding, then what you can do is just do your alternate loose fist smaller, okay? You can also, again, remember, make smaller movements with your ringing if you want as well. You can make smaller movements with the kneading if you want to specifically loosen a particular area. And again, like what we saw with the hamstrings, I never work like this, but some therapists do. So if it was holding there, you can do this, but just get your massage gun. It's a hell of a lot easier, okay? But you can do. You can strip the whole thing by using your thumb circles. And then finish by giving it some love. Okay, all right. Right, Kat, you come and work on this leg, and Nina, you work on that leg there.